Imagine stepping beyond the walls of time to witness the deafening clash of steel on steel, the acrid smell of rising gunpowder, and the echo of war drums rolling across valleys that now lie silent. Dawn rises on October 25th, and mist hangs low over a field turned into a treacherous swamp by endless rain. The sun burns hot as French King Philip II faces a coalition of forces under the Holy Roman Emperor Otto IV, backed by English and Flemish rebels. Otto I, Holy Roman Emperor, arranges his armored infantry and cavalry into tight formations, shields locked. Dawn breaks over grassy fields bordered by forests, where peasants and townsmen, armed with pikes and halberds, stand shoulder to shoulder against noble cavalry. The Order of the Teutonic Knights, clad in white cloaks marked with black crosses, faces a vast, polished Lithuanian alliance. Kings became legends. Nations discovered identity. And Europe itself inched closer to the modern age. In Agincourt, Bouvines, Lechfeld, Sempach, and Grunwald. History was forged in sweat, steel, and sacrifice, and the echoes of those days still whisper in ruins, chronicles, and even in the freedoms we cherish today. As midday heat turns armor into furnaces, the two armies slam together in a rolling tide of steel. Subscribe right now to Vertex of Time. Hit that bell so you never miss the next epic journey. Leave a comment on which battle gripped you the most, and share this video with fellow history lovers. Here at Vertex of Time, the past isn't gone. It breathes, roars, and rides into battle again, every time you press play. The Lithuanians appear to retreat under crushing pressure, drawing the Teutonic Knights into disorder. Dust swirls, blinding men who fight more by sound and instinct than sight. Suddenly, polished cavalry, banners whipping in the wind, crashes into the exposed flank. The hammer falls. Knights fall from saddles. Swords rise and drop in exhaustion. The master of the Teutonic Order is slain. The once invincible force is routed. When silence returns, the field is littered with broken standards, fallen crosses, and silent corpses. Grunwald ends the Teutonic Order's dominance and ushers in an age where Poland and Lithuania rise as major powers. Forever remembered in epic tales and haunting paintings, the Austrian knights, dazzling in polished armor, charge forward, lances lowered. The earth trembles under the thunder of hooves. But the Swiss hedgehog formation, bristling with spears, refuses to yield. Horses crash and tumble. Knights are thrown, trampled by their own ranks. Amid chaos, the legendary Arnold von Winkelried grabs a handful of enemy spears and pulls them into his chest, tearing open a path through which his comrades surge forward. Blood stains the grass. Battle cries echo across the field. Against all odds, the Austrians are broken. The Swiss victory becomes a beacon. Unity and sacrifice can defeat tyranny. Freedom, once won, must be fiercely defended. The sky darkens under a rain of arrows, but the German lines hold iron discipline, deflecting terror. When the Magyar riders press closer, arrows spent, Otto signals the counterattack. Knights crash into the invaders with lances leveled. Horses collide in sprays of blood and mud. Swords rise and fall in savage arcs. The once feared Magyars break and flee, their empire shattered. The field is littered with broken spears and fallen riders. Otto's triumph not only saves Christendom from further raids, but sparks a cultural and political rebirth. A new dawn for the empire that historians call the Ottonian Renaissance. Knights from across Europe slam into each other like living battering rams. Shields splinter, horses scream, banners fall. Philip, fighting at the heart of chaos, rallies his men with sword raised high. Dust and sweat blind even the mightiest warriors, but the French hold. Then, in a single explosive charge, Philip's cavalry smashes into the enemy flank, turning doubt into triumph. As dust settles, Otto's forces scatter, and the field is littered with shattered shields, abandoned standards, and dying groans. This victory cements Philip's power, weakens the English crown, and, in the long run, leads to the Magna Carta, a spark for modern liberty. The English army of King Henry V, battered, hungry, and outnumbered 3-1, braces for the French charge. French knights, confident in their shining armor, lower their lances and spur forward. But the muddy ground betrays them. Horses flounder, knights slip, and arrows rain down like death itself. English longbowmen, positioned behind sharpened stakes, let fly in perfect rhythm. The sound is like tearing cloth, the hiss, the whistle, the crack of steel-piercing plate. Thousands of French nobles fall before they even reach the English lines. Bodies pile in the mud, turning it into a graveyard. In ours? Henry's miraculous victory redefines the course of the 100 Years' War and immortalizes him as a hero of legend. Today we dive into the 5 greatest battles of medieval Europe, not just as cold dates in a dusty chronicle, but as living moments that shaped empires, crowned kings, and sealed the fate of millions. Picture the mud-splattered knights, the thunder of hooves, the piercing cries of dying men. Stay until the end, because you'll see why these battles still echo through history, and why you should subscribe to Vertex of Time, so you never see history the same way again. Our journey begins in the heart of medieval France, on the rain-soaked fields of Agincourt in 1415. But medieval Europe wasn't only an English story. In 1214, the wide fields near Bouvines witnessed another clash, destined to change a continent's fate. Now travel east to the plains near the Lech River in 955. The air is tense with fear as the Magyars, fierce horse archers known for lightning raids, approach. In 1386, the Swiss Confederates face the armored might of Duke Leopold III of Austria at Sempach. Finally, we journey to the scorching summer of 1410, to the fields of Grunwald. These 5 battles, scattered across centuries and kingdoms, share something deeper than blood. Each marks a turning point that rippled far beyond muddy fields and shattered shields. And if you crave more than dates and maps, if you want living history, it's the clash of swords, the roar of armies, and the real stories behind legendary battles, then don't wait.